Say hello to the bad guy, Scott Hall, and I've got a scoop for you. And we all know there's a lot of podcasts out there, and I encourage you to check out this one. It's called Going In Raw. You heard it here first. Going In Raw.
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
Welcome back to Going In Raw News Brief. We're going to try to keep this one brief today. Very exciting news, Larson. Matt Hardy's going to AEW.
Seems that way. So this morning at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 Eastern, he released the newest episode of Free the Delete. And it picked up basically where Matt and Nick's Jackson phone call on being the Elite left off. Turns out Ryan Satin's speculation on Twitter was spot on.
Yeah.
Because it starts with Matt Hardy on the phone, talking to the other party. At this time, we don't know it's the Young Bucks. That's not revealed until the end. To come to his compound because Zenith is dying, and they are the only two who can separate Zenith from his body because they did it one other time in Ring of Honor. And then they need to be there to bury them both. But in the meantime, he needs to get his affairs in order in case something goes wrong. So we see Senior Benjamin digging, you'd think, could be Matt Hardy's grave should he perish.
Matt Hardy was fashioning his own cross.
Yeah, and carrying it to the would-be grave.
He was writing what seemed to be a will of sorts.
Yeah.
Handwriting a will.
Yeah. And so at the end of all that montage, there is an Escalade that pulls up to the Hardy compound, enters, and out of that Escalade is the Bucks of Youth.
Yeah, man.
And then, Nick Jackson says,
Bucks of Youth.
Hey, Matt, what's going on?
Yeah.
And then Matt Hardy says, Bucks of Youth, I knew you'd come.
Yeah.
NC.
That's pretty big. That's a pretty big deal, man. I mean, the fact that they went to the Hardy compound. I mean, look, here's the thing. Matt Hardy just on his own without any creative behind him is like whatever. But if you get the entire broken universe thing in AEW, that's a pretty big draw. That's like a big draw. And then you incorporate the Dark Order stuff with that. That's like a big deal.
This is my speculation right now. Young Bucks show up to get Zenith out of Matt Hardy. Because they not this episode, the prior one, Matt Hardy showed the clip of the Young Bucks super kicking Matt Hardy, and there's a spirit that leaves him.
Yeah.
What if that happens again, but this time, rather than Matt Hardy achieving broken brilliance how he intends to, he's instead possessed by another deity, that being a more nefarious one, and turns him into the Exalted One.
All right.
So the Young Bucks inadvertently make Matt Hardy the Exalted One.
So would this have taken place then prior to the Dark Order coming around? Because like the Exalted One already exists.
Well, I guess it kind of
does.
He was
like talking in a video.
Yeah, I know, but they could say, well, it's the Exalted One is not yet made flesh.
Oh, wow.
It is a spiritual entity, and it will inhabit Matt Hardy once Zenith is out of his body.
All right, well, we'll see if that happens. And also, it remains to be seen, like, exactly what the contractual status is. I mean, is he going to be a free agent who says, hey, let's just do this fun stuff for a bit, and then he can just float around and do whatever he wants? I mean, AEW, their contracts, I think, are open to, like, for their performance take indie dates anyways.
Depends on the contract.
Like, I know Nyla Rose was in the news, like, yesterday talking about how, like, she's tired of these promoters trying, now she's trying to take some indie dates, and she's a pretty big deal. And these promoters are saying, hey, you still take $50 like you did 2 years ago? And it's like, no, man, no. So yeah, that's awesome, man. That's fun. That's really fun. I love anytime there's some buzz coming to pro wrestling. I think it's a great thing.
You got that right.
Yeah. So I mean, I wonder. I do kind of wonder. Like, he had time to film this. I don't know if there's going to be an extension of this on Dynamite tonight.
Oh, that'd be great.
But go down. Well, I have the notes right here.
There's nothing there. I mean, like the lineup for Dynamite tonight, if you just look at it on paper.
Well, there's still, I mean, there's one.
There's a lot of matches.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, there's 6 matches.
Segments.
There.
But that's not to say they can't have a 90-second thing. I'd be surprised because this is part 1 of the finale. I don't know if the finale, I would imagine, would be next Wednesday when that would drop.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, the Dark Order has been saying that the Exalted One is near. And assuming Matt Hardy is Exalted One, which he's been a leading contender for a while, they've been planting the seeds for it on Dynamite. He could show up tonight. He could show up next week. Who knows?
Yeah.
The only place we know Matt Hardy will be is the big event, Queens, New York, this Saturday.
Yeah. Speaking of Hardys, Jeff Hardy is nearing his in-ring return. He was on WWE Backstage last night and noted that he is nearing a return. He said this, I'm officially cleared, so I've been at SmackDown on Fox the last 2 weeks in a row. I'm just waiting for the right creative spot to jump back in the mix. That the right creative spot will probably be in AEW in about a year when he actually has
his contract's
when he's finally released of his contract. Yeah, his contract's up. He also spoke about his DWI arrest in October of last year, saying, quote, on the night of October the 3rd, I got into some trouble. The morning of October the 4th, I arranged for me to go to inpatient rehab. For the first time in my life, it was one of the best things I could have ever done for myself, and I've done something every day to better myself. End quote. It would have been kind of lame if you showed them backstage and they're like, okay, so, you know, he had a really public, you know, DWI. And he was like, yeah, nah, I figured it out. You know? Yeah, I just had to drink less.
It's all good.
It's all good. So I got this app called Uber and another one called Lyft, and I'm good.
I don't drive anymore after I've had too much to drink.
It's like, well, Jeff, there are bigger issues here. But
it's seemingly
good.
good that he's facing him head on. If this is true, the first time that he's checked himself into inpatient rehab, that's hopefully it's a moment of clarity on his part.
You would think so. You would have thought that Victory Road would have been that moment of clarity, but I guess not. Man, there was like a montage of crazy stuff he did while he was in TNA.
Yeah,
I feel like I missed out on so much by not watching TNA.
Remember that spot where he jumps off the cage or falls off the cage and lands basically neck first.
Oh my God, that's right. Yeah,
and that was to write him off TV.
Yeah, because of a neck injury. Yeah, there was another one where he like cleared. I don't know. It was crazy. It was like he did this table spot on Abyss from like, I don't know, like 30 feet up or something. It was crazy.
Gosh.
It was crazy. He should not have been doing that stuff. So yeah, that's cool. That's good. Good for him.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll see Brother Nero in AEW whenever his contract is up.
8 months to a year. Yeah.
He always looked like he was having fun doing that stuff.
I know.
You know.
I know.
So yeah. Also announced on WWE Backstage, confirmation of what had been going around anyways. Who was the first? Was it WrestleVotes? Was it WrestleVotes?
Either WrestleVotes or Meltzer. I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't remember who it was.
JBL confirmed as WWE Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
So that's good. Who do you think is gonna? Well, it's gonna be Ron Simmons.
It's gonna be Ron Simmons. Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool though. He's worthy. He was champion a lot.
He had the belt for a year, pretty much. He dubbed himself the Wrestling God.
Yeah, that was a bit much.
Acolytes, APA, they were tag champions, I'm sure.
Anytime you can pay homage to J.R. Ewing from Dallas, which is essentially what his character was, like J.R. Ewing and then a little bit of George W. Bush in there.
Yeah.
You're good.
I like that he had the transition from wrestling cowboy to like some sort of supernatural thing
Yeah.
to security agency to
Governor of Texas.
Wall Street tycoon, essentially.
Slash Wall Street. Oh, yeah, exactly.
So you talk about wrestlers who are adept at reinvention. You got to put JBL's name in
He's
there.
in the list. He's
Got
in the
to.
list. That's a good one.
You
That's
got
a good
to.
point. We got previews for tonight's Wednesday Night War lineup. NXT, Velveteen Dream and Roderick Strong are going to be in a steel cage. There's also Tegan Nox and Dakota Kai in the steel cage. They're missing out. I said this last week, Larson. They're missing out on a huge opportunity to have both these matches take place at the same time in the
Why
same
not
cage.
just have every match tonight in the cage?
Right? Yeah, I know.
Just do it.
Here's
Have
the thing.
Broserweight's first undisputed air tag title match steel cage.
Well, that's one thing that AEW has started to do with their themed episodes. Like they take longer time between pay-per-views. Well, NXT has a similar takeover schedule. They
Yeah,
have
I know.
pay-per-views
I know.
once every quarter or whatever.
Yeah.
Why not have a whole steel cage themed episode?
I know.
You can have. Who wouldn't want to see the Undisputed Era versus Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch in steel cage?
Have the Broserweight's versus undisputed air. Have a tag title rematch in the cage.
Sure.
That'd be great.
Sure.
Like if you're gonna steal the Tegan Nox and Dakota Kai's thunder,
Yeah.
then just go all the way with it.
Right. Yeah. And just make that the main
And it
event.
yeah, I know. It makes me feel though. Now Velveteen Dream Roderick Strong will be main event, and that's gonna bum me out.
I know.
Tegan Nox and Dakota Kai should be the main event.
It's so weird that NXT chose to fast track this Velveteen Dream Roderick Strong thing in such a underwhelming fashion.
I know.
Because like the whole family integration of it could have been carried out over ages. Like they could have done backstage stuff.
It could have been the Bob Roode story essentially.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly.
Instead, it was just Velveteen Dream tweets. Also, will Imperium continue to target Finn Balor?
Mr. Baylor.
Yeah, probably. And then what's next for Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano? I wonder if NXT even knows. They're asking the question because they're hoping to solicit ideas, maybe.
All right, they're checking their mentions.
Like, oh, let's scroll through here on Twitter.
Meanwhile, over in AEW, new AEW World Champion John G. I get some people are annoyed with this in the comments. I'll do it once. John Moxley And Darby Allin versus the Inner Circle's Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara. That's fun. Colt Cabana and SCU.
Say it right. SCU.
Oh, no, you can do that.
All right.
I don't encourage that behavior. I love the Gian Moxley stuff, though. Versus the Dark Orders, Evil Uno, Stu Grayson, John Silver, and Alex Reynolds. One day I'll remember the names John Silver and Alex Reynolds.
Well, then you got to remember who is who.
Oh, hey, man, one thing at a time. Baby steps.
All right.
Baby steps.
All right.
Pac versus, oh, poor Chuck Taylor.
Yeah, he's taking an L here.
He's going to get annihilated.
He's totally taking an L. Same with the QT Marshall here against Jake Hager.
Jake Hager's going to destroy
And
QT.
then Big Swole versus Leva Bates.
Is Jake Hager going to turn into the workhorse now? He's got, what,
Maybe.
one match at a pay-per-view and then the next TV?
Now he's basically undeclared TV champion.
Big Swole versus Leva Bates. That sounds like an AEW dark match, but that's cool, too.
And then Lance Archer debuts.
And then he had a new thing on Twitter.
Oh, yeah, he has a graphic
You
on there.
me, yeah.
Where he said that he was basically going to go out and try to kill the Elite.
Yeah, he's
Let's
got
see if
like
I can find it again.
Killing the Elite
graphic
graphic
It
logo.
pretty much says, I have a target that I'm going to start hunting. Who you all think it is? And the graphic said, killing the Elite.
So all Elite Wrestling brings him in, gives him money, and then he says, I'm going to kill you now.
I'm going to go after the Elite.
Yeah, wow. Well, that's good for him. He
Somewhere in
could
here,
be
Twitter
like, that worked for Yoshitatsu as Bullet Club Hunter.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, just let's go to his Twitter account. You can find it, I'm sure.
Yeah, at whatever.
Lance Archer.
Just Google
Here,
Lance
give me a
Archer
moment.
Twitter.
Oh, there it is.
Do that.
This is his tweet. Chew on this. All the fighters in AEW are truly elite. I have a target in mind. I have a plan in place, and it'll happen on AEW on TNT. Let me hear your top 10 Death Note recipients.
Hold on a second. Gimmick infringement. 10 for the win is our thing, buddy.
He does say 10 for the win.
It's coming back this Saturday, by
As
the
I
way.
prepare for my Killing the Elite rampage.
All right.
And he's got graphic of.
Do you think he made that himself?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Wrestlers are multi-talented these days.
Yeah, man.
Anyways. Hey, man, let's try to get this episode up to 504 likes.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Well, thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We definitely appreciate it. We got some gameplay going on for the patrons today.
We do. It's more Friendo Unified Championship Wrestling.
Oh, man. The Meatloaf Championship is on the line, as is the continuing round-robin tournament to get removed from Rawgate Mutant.
We should call it the free one, like the G1.
The free one. Beautiful, beautiful. The free one continues. Baron Corbin today is taking on Dean Ambrose.
Clean Dean.
Clean Dean. That's right. So check that out. Thanks for watching. Until next time. We will talk to you later.
Goodbye.